Good morning, media respectable and responsible fellow citizens of the Republic of Sierra Leone. This now our sister once again, Sister Wiggy from London, the CEO and founder of the Advocates for Good Governance Sierra Leone. We're a registered organization based in Sierra Leone and the executive director of Women for Women Empowerment Organization. We're a registered organization in the United Kingdom. The date today na the 14th August 2022. I send out this message this morning on behalf of the Advocates for Good Governance Sierra Leone as we receive voluminous calls for no wetin na we own intake about the speech wey the president give in the Republic of Sierra Leone. But before I try for comment on that speech, I want for say first to His Excellency and appreciation say we recognize in speech what he don give for address the nation. And in addition to that, I want to point out just three types of criticism. Then I go address the issue. I go try for talk about how we feel, wetin na we own intake about the president in speech. So I want to talk about three types of criticism. From there, I dey choose one wey appropriate based on the circumstances or based on the interaction or wetin we want for say. We get positive criticism. Positive criticism simply means that you dey try for criticize somebody else, but at the same time you dey try for help am, for grow, for become influential. And then we get constructive criticism. Simply means that you dey point out the person in mistakes, and then you give recommendations and or solutions how he go able to improve on where he make mistake, so that if he find himself in that situation there in the future, he no go able to make the same mistakes, provided that he take the recommendations and or solutions or suggestion wey you put in place na your criticism. If you get a comfortable and convenient platform for take am on board. Then we get destructive criticism. As na already name destructive, it no matter what you try for do, the person dey criticize you, they still dey criticize you in a very damaging manner, in a way you sef go look at yourself and say what are they doing? They no dey even recognize them. The person dey try for destroy your image, they try for destroy your confidence, they try for take your confidence away, they try deliberately not for pay attention on the positive things them, but for just pay attention on the negative things them, for let it talk so much so bad about you. So now I call destructive criticism. And I personally they try for avoid destructive criticism. I remember one of the television interviews them where I attend na salon. After the end of the interview, the person wey interview me say, Sister Wiggy, say I like the way you respond to me questions them, how you address me questions them. One of the last question wey ask me, he say, una organization can find am convenient for criticize the government or any government of the day. My response what I give, I tell them, I say there are so many types of criticisms out there. I say, but we prefer for use constructive criticism rather than using destructive criticism. That's towards the end of the interview. I say, so me respond where I give to in question where ask me. I say, yes. I say, there are so many criticisms out there. I say, but we own organization, they conveniently they use constructive criticism. I feel a little bit impressed. So that respond the way I give. And towards the end of the interview, we sit down and chat for about 5-10 minutes before I left the place. So I want for use constructive criticism today for and make me comments to the president. So as constructive criticism, you just tell the person who say go wrong, and then you give recommendations and or suggestions so that if you find himself in a similar situation, you know how to handle the problem, provided that you're ready for take your recommendation into practice. So the presidents don't talk now the BBC where we listen, we are carefully listen and carefully try for take every single word where they put into a statement or sentence for that particularly pay attention on that. Based on the interview where they interview His Excellency and the responses the way he did, to me, it seems, and they use the word it seems like it got a long-term planning, government planning. where based on in responses, you get a long-term government planning where e be say if you dey in any better position for put am into practice, we go see ourselves to the next level. But for now, I give now the constructive criticism to this statement of His Excellency. In planning them we get for us now a long-term planning for the people, and if you're able to execute some plan, because you can plan sometimes, but you're not in any better position for execute them. So if you plan you're not in any better position for execute them, it just seem like that person the way they when you got no planning in life at the same category you not dey. But if you plan, then you're able to execute. You plan what I mean by execute, for put them into practice, for let benefit others them. Then obviously you plan don't become a practical, it don't become materialized to the people them where they benefit them. So if you in plan them where it don't talk na the BBC, you able for let it become materialized, it be for help the people of Sierra Leone. But for now, use constructive criticism to this statement now. However, in a governance system, you can get long-term planning, you can get short-term planning based on the circumstances where you find yourself. You know, they just put aid number on long-term planning. Suppose now, for example, because some long-term planning, they seems, this is my own opinion, where I don't critique the president's in statements where he don't do now the BBC. In long-term planning, them requires more than 10 years for able for execute them. This is my own opinion, based on the assessment of your own statements where I able for take, and based on my own critique. It requires more than 10 years for able for execute them. But if you go get yourself long-term planning where requires more than 10 years for able for execute them, where perhaps 5 years no more get. Luckily, if you are lucky enough based on how you put implementations through in the time where you did now the governance system, now you go make some people continue for vote for you. I'm not saying Sierra Leone no they vote for person past 2 times for let you day as a president more than 2 times. But you can go to the second round based on how you deliver, based on how you develop the country, based on the services towards the people. Luckily enough, you go probably go a second time. And sometimes you can deliver, you can do everything. If you are not lucky enough, you're still able to get the second time. So politics na gamble, the one of the highest risk we can think about. But if you're able to play that risk wisely, you go there to your own benefit. Yes, but it seems like now long-term planning. But in the situation also we did so now, where it be say the entire country, the entire world, where we did so now, we're full of challenges them as a result of the COVID-19. In that circumstances or that pathway there, now there the assessment come followed by prioritization. But before I talk about then 2 things there, I want for respectfully remind the president say it don't address the nation, but the people let me for benefit more if it be for talk Creole, come down to the level of the people them we vote for and the Republic of Sierra Leone, the Sierra Leoneans, the citizens of the Republic of Sierra Leone, where they now the Republic of Sierra Leone or elsewhere, in consideration of the educational background, where more especially where we get now, not everybody educates, not everybody be able to talk to English, you understand what you try for say. So in the circumstances, the prevailing circumstances where the president find himself at this constrained platform in relation to the protest aspect, the people let me for benefit more if before come down at the level for address them, talk to them Creole, plain Creole language, and see how you go able for put cold water, for bring calm the nation, for unite the nation, let me for be benefits more than it try for address in speech as if it is an international speech they try for do, where we require a national speech for talk to the people them, give them cold water. What do I mean by give them cold water? Sometimes when somebody don't anger, somebody don't vex, the way they talk to them, how you approach to your statements for talk to the people them, they cool them down. So I make I just say before finally give them cold water. The way you address them, the way you talk to them, you're able to cool them down, and at the same time use them to your advantage for unite them. Use them to your advantage for bringing them come together. use them for your advantage, for give them solutions. Say, well, now this problem will not happen. How we want us as citizens, as Sierra Leone, for now we all come together for resolve it. Just left it there and see what they come out of it. So the people let me for be benefits, them for benefit more if be able to take that approach thing. Rather than they try for speak English as if it appears like they try for address the international people rather than trying to address the Sierra Leoneans. So yeah, a Creole before be beneficial to all of us. So let me talk about the current situation now. And as it appears like the president gets a long-term planning where perhaps some of the planning will take more than 10 years based on this is my own assessment. They will work critique in statements and in responses and in answers to the BBC. Naima they try for talk so. My own opinion and others will be different. But so far, when I don't critique in statements and in responses to the BBC News, it seems like it appears like it will need more than 10 years for they go able for execute them. So in a situation like this, where difficulties there now all over the world, now the assessment coincide. You can get to long-term planning, but try forget again immediate planning where you're able to execute immediately based on the situation where you find yourself. What's in the situation? This hardship where don't become a fabric of the world, where they say everybody they go through hardship, not just in the Republic of Sierra Leone, but everywhere in the world, including in London, the house with they go through hardship. So in a situation like that where everybody they're facing hardship, you can get to long-term planning, but try forget immediate planning and immediate implementation as well. You know we get immediate planning and immediate implementation when you fail for do critical assessment for know waiting at the immediate need in the country. Now the immediate need that the country in our food. Immediate need na the country in our food where go there na affordable prices where everybody else go able for afford for buy. That are the immediate intervention now. They say an angry man is an angry man an hungry man is an angry man. If your belly don't flop, you know we'll go complain again. So immediate intervention now based on the overall assessment what we don't do. Now for let the president before focus on immediate needs. What are the immediate needs? Food. Food get for day at an affordable price. Do everything to in your power. As the president of the Republic of Sierra Leone, be able to provide food to people them. Where go they na affordable prices. If you cost for like subsidize, make you do that. Because if you're not able to provide food to the people them na affordable price, will be say everybody go able for afford for buy food, for buy garri, for buy bag of rice, for feeding family them. Then if you talk to them now about the difficulty of the world, they're able for listen to you. But somebody know whether he hungry one, you want for eating belly empty, you not get food for it, then he say, like I can tell you now about the difficulties in the world. They're not going for listen to you. But try for take care of them belly first. If you're able for subsidize, for let you able for food be able for come in the country, a flow of food be able for come in the country, and a price will be say the layman self go able for afford for feeding people them, for feeding family them. Then if you try for talk to them now, then go conveniently able for listen to you because them belly don't full. You don't give priority na them belly. And then medical attention. They're able to get adequate medical facilities where will be affordable to everybody else. This is not immediate things the way we say now need. If the president before able to give priority to that, when somebody's sick, they can't go to the hospital, you're able to get adequate medical attention at an affordable price at the time where that person they need them. You don't begin to resolve the basic things them. Clean water. So, but you cannot resolve the need when you're not able to do critical assessment. Nothing other way you're able to achieve if you not assess the situation. Yeah, we appreciate the fact that the president may probably get a long-term planning, but based on the circumstances, the prevailing circumstances where he finds himself now, as a result of the challenges where everybody they go through na this world, if before don't do a critical assessment for see what are the immediate needs that Sierra Leone people need desperately want at this time. Then other things then are able to give them priority as well. But the most need, we get want. What do we need now? Now food. It have to be affordable. Everybody get for able for day in a position for buy them. If you be say yes, they're not in a position for buy, try for subsidize, for bring come the prices of the food down. Then that's how they're able for take care of them. If you talk to them now, you're able for listen to you. And prioritization. Without assessment, you're not able for prioritize. You don't get for put prioritization before assessment. You get for assess what's the environment, assess your country, assess the situation where you find yourself. When you don't assess the country, the situation where you don't find yourself, now the prioritization can inside. You go able for ask yourself now through me assessment, me critical assessment, what are the findings right? I don't get. What are the immediate need? What are fit I get for pay attention pan now let it become achievable because of the circumstances where we find ourselves. And how I will get for continue for carry on with me long-term planning, all done for the president able for put them together. I believe say if you able for call the people and for talk to them, go listen because you don't feed them, you don't give them first food for it. And be able for listen to them. Then say an hungry man is an angry man. You belly empty. You want for eat food, not there for it. The food there, but you're not able to afford them because of who's you day, because of perhaps due to poverty. You're not able to achieve them. Then somebody won't come for can talk to you. In that circumstances, it will be very difficult to capture the audience, their attention, for making them listen to you. Yeah, so now we don't intake this, and please do not feel free for share. I believe say if we all come together and put with differences them apart, we were able to contribute effectively and meaningfully in the Republic of Sierra Leone. For now, we were able to get solution together who we go put for improve the country. You and I were able to do that together. Yes, we can. May God bless the Republic of Sierra Leone, and God bless you all. Sister Ruby.